Baby, what there's nobody talking to me. So I'll have a little rant to myself on live. Why not? There's not much going on, as you can see by the signage here where I am, i.e. outside 7-Eleven. Yeah, here in Laos. Lao or Laos? I never know how to pronounce it correctly. The locals just call it Lao, I think. Anywho, here in Savannah yet again for the, I think, fourth, fifth, sixth time. Fourth, I think. Yeah, fourth, fifth. I like Savannah. I like Savannah a lot. It's got some good memories. It's got some bad memories. It's got some good aspects and it's got some bad aspects. It's got beautiful sunsets overlooking the Mekong River. Mekong, I think. So yeah, it's a beautiful place to be. I love the architecture. I'm not a fan of the trash, as the Americans call it, rubbish. But it is what it is. You know, I see the improvements each time I come back. So I'm quite happy to spend my time here, and that's just as well because that's kind of the topic of this live. Hi, thanks for joining. Um, yeah, this is the topic of this particular conversation. In as much as Thailand recently changed the immigration rules, on the day that I left. That wasn't great for me because obviously I haven't got a crystal ball. I still had to do my border crossing regardless. Uh, that didn't change the fact that my plan, as it remained, was to cross the border using my motorbike. But now having to some extent having the doorway back into Thailand for myself at least seems to have been closed because I think I've already done too many border crosses already this year. So I really don't know when I rock up at the border whether or not they're going to let me back into Thailand. That then poses a problem because obviously I've got the motorbike. So there's the import aspect. So when you cross over from Thailand into Laos, I'm sure any vehicle that isn't registered in Laos and you're coming into Laos is only given a temporary import documents. It's not allowed to stay in Laos like the 30 day. When you cross over as a foreigner or a Thai person into Laos using your vehicle, the time that you get for the vehicle is a lesser time by considerable amount than you will get for your own, unless obviously you haven't got like a proper passport. Because Thai people can cross over into Laos just with identification. I don't think they necessarily need to have a passport. I think they can do it. Obviously, they can do it with a passport, and it's easier. But I think Thai people can cross over into Laos, and I think maybe the vice versa. Lao people can cross over into Thailand without actually having a passport. Maybe that's changed recently because of obviously the recent changes that Thailand also made. And this is another thing that people aren't reporting on. When you're crossing over from Thailand, when you're doing your border crossings now, it used to be you could just do it with your passport. Now you have to go online. So it's like an e-visa, really. But you can, because it's a new thing, you can do it very quickly at the board, within minutes with some help from, hi, how you doing? Sawadee krap, somebody might have. So yeah, it's difficult to say exactly how long I'm going to be able to have to stay out of Thailand for before I can return. I'm thinking it's going to be probably in the new year when things kind of then like reset again for me. Well, for everybody, I come the the new year. I'm hoping that my problems kind of stop and things reset. The only problem is the motorbike. It only got 15 days when I came over from Thailand. When I brought my bike with me from Thailand, so I got an extension. Sorry, not 15 days, 14 days, and then you can do an extension for 7 days to make it 3 weeks, basically. Um, so that means that the motorbike's got to go back on the 4th of December. Now I've got until I think the 13th or maybe 14th of December for my visa before I have to return. Yeah. So you only get initially 2 weeks, and you can do an extension for an extra week. So you get 3 weeks from the motorbike, but I got 4 weeks when I entered into Laos. So the motorbike has to return before my visa expires. And I don't think there's any more extensions. I think you can only do it the once. And if you overstay, so the motorbike doesn't return back into Thailand before that, either before or on the day of the paperwork expiring, in my case, the 4th of December, I get fined. A bit like if I overstayed my visa, the motorbike gets a penalty as well for overstaying. And I think it's 150,000 kit per day. So obviously it's what, $10? Is that right? I don't know, because I'm converting it into, why am I converting it into dollars for? In English, it'll be about £6, £7, £8. I think, yeah, it'd be about £10, $10 a day for overstaying. So obviously you can imagine if I have to wait until the new year, that's an extra 20 days, isn't it? Approximately, like, give or take, say, yeah, an extra like 25 days, yeah. At $10 a day, that's not really the sort of bill I want to be paying when money will be tight. So I'm thinking I should just head to the border still on the day that head to the border on the day that the motorbike expires and see how I get on. I'm good, bro. Yeah. How are you? Are you doing all right? Yeah, I'm in Savannah. Back in Savannah. Yeah, with the recent changes, it's no one. Also, that's the point. In case everybody's situation is different, so when you're doing these border runs, not border run, like we call it a border run. Yeah, it's your visa ends. Yeah, call it a run or whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, when your visa expires, you got to leave. I think 99% of the people, if not 100% of the people that get aggravation and get problems and seem to not be able to return to Thailand too quickly when they try, are the ones who are trying to get back into Thailand really quickly. Yeah, literally, crossing the border, stay in Laos as long as it takes you to get the stamp in your passport, and then literally walking back into Thailand. Of course, Thailand or Laos, neither one of the two countries really want you doing that. Yeah. So it's no wonder that they've changed the rules, but it is case by case, but it certainly is never ever going to help your case when you literally just cross over and then try and return back. So what do you get? Yeah, it's not going to help your case if you're going to try and return back to Thailand really quickly, you know. And obviously doing it literally the same day is one thing, and you really are asking for trouble. Even staying there a night, you're still probably asking for trouble. I would say to be on any margin of any sort of kind of even getting your probabilities down, stay a week, and that may get your probabilities down to about 50-50, yeah. If you do walk across and try and go back, don't, like 99% you should have in your mind 99% chance of this not working for sure. And like I say, just go by it like a tariff thing, you know. If walking across and trying to walk back again is 99% to say fail, and then staying an extra day, maybe get down to like 85-90% chance of still failing. After a week, say 50-50. Stay the 30 days, and I would say you probably got more of a 20% likelihood of, you know, it being okay, 80% likelihood of it being okay, and only a 20% likelihood of it not working out okay. And not, unless obviously you're up to nefarious things and they suspect you of being of what is it? The scam callers, you know, working in that industry. Yeah, I'm good. How are you? So yeah, border crossings, changing rules, like any new laws being introduced or new regulation changes, immigration changes and things like that, it's still case by case. For example, if you're like guys that I've met in this town, they're doing a border run, and they're trying to, I'm not sure if they are on or now trying to obtain what we call it, a language visa, you know, to learn the Thai language, so like a student visa, I suppose. Now, once you obtain such a thing, because there's been a massive tendency over the years, not so much now, you know, it's legitimised quite a lot, I think, more so recently, and also the customers, I think, are more legitimate, maybe, or maybe not, maybe I'm completely wrong, but historically, should we say, there's been agencies that would happily, you know, visa agencies that will happily take your money in return for them helping you out obtain a student visa, you know, an education visa, where you're looking to learn the Thai language. And back in the day, like historically, quite a lot of people didn't actually attend classes. Maybe they did, and then it wavered off and they stopped going towards the end and things like that. And I had heard, even before recent changes, that a lot of those schools were kind of insisting people, you know, if they're going to sign you up for an education visa, that the attendees actually attended. You know, like I say, you can maybe Skype maybe 1 or 2 lessons maybe. But if the point being, either if you did or didn't attend the lessons, or learn the language, because if you then rock up at the immigration, they will kind of test you, yeah. But if you can't give them basic answers to basic questions, like probably how old are you, where do you live, is this your partner if you've got one with you or waiting for you. You know, give them an answer as to what it is you're doing, where you're staying in Thai. You'll come unstuck pretty quick. Yeah, because that's going to make them question whether or not you've been attending, you know, these lessons. And if you fail at the first hurdle and not even be able to answer basic questions, they're going to kind of give you a hard time, perhaps. Make some phone calls and do some inquiries, ask for a proof that you've actually attended. I mean, you might even get to the point that you'll have to have some sort of stamping in some sort of register, and you have to, the only way you can get the stamping in your little logbook is to actually attend the lessons. And if you can't provide like this little logbook with your rubber stamps from the school to show that you actually did attend, which I know is easy to fake, anyone can buy a rubber stamp, blah 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 blah, but it just gives accountability. That's the thing. And Thailand loves to hold people account. Well, any country does, to be fair. I don't single Thailand out for that. So yeah, the rules are the rules. I'm just, didn't realise my batteries are getting low. Yeah, so I'm going to have to say goodbye, folks. My phone's just realised it's gone down to 5%. Jesus, live streaming really kills your battery. Jesus, I think it was at 30% before I started making this video. So yeah, wish me luck, folks. Yeah. Well, there's no luck involved to some extent. Either Thailand lets me and the motorbike. See, that's the thing. Having the motorbike